Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at Flashback. Ubisoft sent me a review code for the Xbox Live Arcade version, and that's actually the first version that is being released, with it coming to the PlayStation Network and Steam, I believe it is, well, or let's just say PC, later on, I believe it's this fall. So, the beginning you saw was the original Flashback, and now we're going to be taking a look at Flashback HD, or the remake, or whatever else you want to call it. So Flashback is actually a remake of the 1992 classic of the same name. And it's interesting because the development staff is actually comprised of a lot of the same guys from the original release. So that's kind of cool. And because of that, overall, the game is very, very faithful to the original Flashback. So what did I enjoy? Well, I really enjoyed the setting, for one thing. I love futuristic sci-fi type movies, and this game was really influenced by Terminator, Blade Runner, and classic sci-fi films of the day. So if you can envision like a world or a universe within like those sort of confines, then I'm sure you'd really, really enjoy this. Other things I really enjoyed were the Metroid-like exploration system. Basically, you have a map system that works very similar to Metroid, where you can see where different, like secrets might be. And while there aren't as many power-ups as something as like in Metroid, there are a lot of different hidden goodies. And for one thing, there's these weird little creature things that you need to destroy to unlock different achievements and other rewards. And I really like that because it's really easy to spot where these things are supposed to be. I really enjoyed the light RPG elements too. As you progress, you level up, and as you level up, you gain these sort of like skill points, which can be used to increase Conrad, that's the protagonist, his accuracy, technology, or in stamina. And depending on where you allocate your points, you can really make a unique character that fits your playstyle perfectly. Also really enjoyed the teleportation device. This is basically an item that you find later in the game that allows you to basically throw the device in anywhere pretty much, and a few seconds later you'll materialize wherever it landed. And why this is so cool is because when you couple it with the interesting puzzle system, you can imagine how this can get really, really unique with some of the puzzles, and it really is. There are times where there will be like an exit or whatever, and you need to figure out a way of getting to the exit, and they'll throw like 3 or 4 different mechanics at you, and it can stump you. It did me more than once, I'll tell you that. Also enjoyed the combat system. You use the right analog stick in order to aim around the screen as you would in any modern, really like shooter type of game. You only have one main type of handgun, or at least that's all I discovered, and you can charge it up to make sort of like a mega buster, sort of like Mega Man. You also have your trusty explosives and also that teleportation device. And when you add all these things together, combat can get deeper than it might first appear. Also really enjoy the fact that there's a new game plus. I always love when developers do this, and in this case it works really well. All of the enhancements that you made to your character continue on in the new game, and they also add a bunch of new, well, I haven't played through it yet, but at the end credits it said that there's extra goodies that they've thrown in the new game plus to make you even more powerful. So I'm going to go and try that out for sure. They also include the original 1992 version of Flashback, which I think was a really cool idea because it shows you not only how far gaming technology has come, but also just, how well the game was when it originally came out. It holds up surprisingly well after all these years. And finally, really enjoy the comic book style cutscenes that they have that flesh out the storyline. The plot remains pretty much exactly as it was in the original from what I recall, whereby you're trying to piece together your mind by finding flash drives and things like that. And what starts off as you just basically being like a guy who doesn't know what's really going on, running for your life, eventually become like a savior of mankind, something like that. It sounds a little cliche, but in the end it actually comes together really well. Now, for a couple things that were so-so. While the gameplay overall works, it's still, I find, very clunky. Like, for example, if you want to jump from one platform to another platform, you just press the jump button, right? But if there's a platform above you, you can't press the jump button. You got to press up, and your character will jump up and slowly move like that. It's the original Prince of Persia controls, if you remember that from like the late 80s. It works pretty much like that. And for the most part, it works well. However, that's not always the case. Occasionally what will happen is you'll want to jump from one platform to another and your character will just fall off the edge. Other times you'll want to like grab onto a platform above you and you'll lower yourself. Just weird little things like that. Another thing that I didn't appreciate too much was the new visuals. In the original, it was a cel-shaded game, and that's why the game holds up so well even to this very day. But with the new HD visuals, I don't know, I just find it comes off looking very, very generic. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know, I would have preferred had they kept the original style myself. I also didn't really feel the voice acting. It falls very flat. And it's like certain actors are trying too hard and other ones just, they seem like they just don't give a damn. And this comes off, this really comes off when you hear Conrad talk about his girlfriend. It's just, I didn't feel it at all. And finally, there are odd bugs here and there. There's a couple of times where your objectives will take you to a place where you have to escort a certain person to a certain location, and either the AI was simply retarded, like where they wouldn't follow me. I would like run to a certain location, then they just stop dead in their tracks. Or the more common one was with elevators, whereby they would stand directly under an elevator, and that would be it. I'd have to reset my my game to the last checkpoint in order to restart it because they couldn't move. They were being crushed. And yeah, so there's a couple of issues like that throughout the game. Overall, though, I think Flashback is actually a very fun game. If you enjoyed the original, certainly worth checking out again. And if you never played the original, I would recommend this. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. For the full written review, hit up projectcoe.com, which will also include the infamous score. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and take care of yourself.